Alright, ladies and gents, little Max Crowley here with a little update on my Dark Souls playthrough.
Let's go kill something.
First of all, I'd like to thank everybody who's subscribed recently. I've noticed I've gotten quite a few in the last few days, a week or whatever, and I really appreciate that. Really, it's been pretty cool. I have a problem. What the problem is I have new capture software that I'm doing the Dark Souls playthrough with. Beforehand, for those of you who've been following for a while, what I used was an HD Dazzle, and it's supposed to use a Pinnacle program. Pinnacle doesn't work, it's a piece of shit, just crashes every time I open it. So I had to use a Windows Movie Maker, which was lovely. A lot of trouble, a lot of dimensions and problems, crappy definition, putting the, compressing the whole video down, leaving the stupid bars on the side that would not go away no matter what I did, even if I changed the aspect ratio. So what I did was I went and bought myself a HipaGauge HD PVR. Nice little piece of hardware. It cost me about 200 some bucks actually. Well, that was with shipping. And it came with a program, ArcSoft Showbiz. Now, Showbiz is a lot more interesting than Windows Movie Maker for sure. Got a lot more things it can do. For those of you who don't know, Windows Live Movie Maker, whatever it's called, cuts you off at 1 hour. It will not record more than an hour. Showbiz doesn't do that. As best I can tell, Showbiz will record as much as you want. So, I've been real busy, and after video 6, part 16, which you probably watched before this, I didn't record anything for about 2 months. Then, several days ago, last week, it seems like last week, I sat down and recorded a good 5 hours of footage, two sessions in one day. One in the morning, one in the afternoon, and I got through the depths, and I believe I fooled around in the forest. Yeah, because I opened that door, and I believe I joined some kind of forest covenant, and I didn't really play after that. Well, that's where the problem started. The file was very large. One of them was 2 hours and 50 some minutes, and the other one was 3 hours and 3 minutes, I believe. Showbiz would not open it. It would try, and it would immediately freeze and crash, and crash, and crash, and crash. I let it, this program is not responding. It would kept telling me. I let it try to figure itself out. I left my computer on one day all night long, just trying to see if it would load it. Wouldn't do it. I couldn't edit it. Couldn't make the video smaller. I tried to save it, because when it records as an MP4, but when I save it, I turn it into a WMV file. And for whatever reason, when you save it from the raw footage into, even if I don't add any audio to it, it will sometimes cut it down from, like, let's say 6 gigs to 1. So, big difference. I don't know why. Wouldn't let me do it. Wouldn't save, same problem. I contact customer support. They tell me, well, the file's too big. I said, well, okay, well, that doesn't really help me. I got to do something. And their next suggestion was, well, if the program won't work, try to do it on another computer. It's like, well, I don't have another computer. I have one laptop. And so that was absolutely no help. So I'm sitting here and I have all this raw footage, and you might think, well, why can't I just upload an MP4? Well, I'm about to tell you why. I finally got a program that would open it. Windows Movie Maker, of all things. Took forever, but I managed to open the files, and I could cut them down to the 20-minute chunks, no problem. Here's the problem. For whatever reason, the raw footage that the HipaGauge will record onto the program, which it saves as an MP4, has desynced audio, no matter what. I don't know why. If you watch the video in the preview player that the Showbiz comes with, part of the program, it's just fine. But if you open that same file and say Real Player or Windows Movie Player, the audio is desynced. And I don't mean just like half a second. I'm talking you hear a sound effect 3 seconds before it happens, 4 seconds before it happens. Very noticeable and very annoying. And I think I had parts 17 to 33. I think it was 33 anyway. Managed to get, put my audio on it, managed to get that all done. Once I cut the files down, I opened them up with Showbiz just fine. But even after I saved it with that, because I had saved it as a Windows Live thing, because Windows Live Movie Maker, I had to save the files just to make them smaller, after I cut, just to open them in Showbiz. But that file, once it had been saved, unlike with Showbiz saves it, did not resync the audio, the game audio. So I'm like, well, fuck. So what I had planned to do was I was going to upload parts 17 to 33, let's just say, in one day. Just one big dump. So, no one would have to wait and wade through shitty desynced videos. I'm still pissed off about it, but I tried for days to fix it. I'm not a technical computer wizard, but there's nothing I can do. I can't get the files to open with the right program. Customer support is absolutely useless. But I was just going to upload them as they were. Well, I got to talking to some people, some fans of mine on here. I guess I'd call them fans, watchers. One of them is actually becoming something of a friend of mine. And he first put forth the suggestion of, well, really badly desynced videos are shitty and nobody wants to watch them, and I really wouldn't want to see it. And I don't want to see you put out crap like that and then have people yell at you. And I was worried about that too, because, I don't want to sound hoity-toity here, but I do try to be somewhat professional. I don't want anyone who's going to take time out of their day to watch what I'm doing, my bullshit. I want them to at least get some entertainment out of it. And just watching the videos annoys me. And believe me, I have watched the shit out of them. Just trying to fix things. So after I talked to him, I talked to a few other people, just trying to get a pool of, opinions, and everybody kept saying the same thing. We don't want to watch that kind of crap. It's annoying, it's stupid, it detracts, and it really, for instance, there was one part, right where I'm at the depths now, if you've watched this, where I walk down some stairs, and you hear the metal clang footstep sound effect like almost 10 seconds before I even move. And really noticeable. The funny thing is the audio that my stick microphone picks up is synced with was synced with the video, but obviously I've been turning it down so low so I don't catch that kind of crap, so you don't get that weird echo effect. In case you're wondering why when sometimes sound effects you kind of hear it a split second before or a split second after, so it gets this weird effect. That's because I have to use two different programs, and then I have to try to lay the audio directly on top of where it's supposed to be, and it's very tricky. You would think I'd be able to do it, even though if you've noticed on some of my videos there's like a 20 to 30 second pause where I'm not doing anything. What I'm doing there is I'm starting the recording, the video recording, and I'm actually have my audio thing open, and I'm like counting it down, like, okay, 3, 2, 1, and even though I hit it right at, let's say, 20 seconds, it never syncs at 20 seconds. It's always like 20 seconds and then several milliseconds, and it's just so finicky. But anyway, that's what that is. So finally, unable to make a decision, I threw the ball into the corner of my dear sweet soldier. After some back and forth, went, junk it, just fucking start over. Well, he didn't curse, but so that makes me feel better, because I'm like, aha, see, I didn't. It's not me, it's him. And he's not happy, and he wouldn't be happy with it. He's a sniper, and I don't want to. He could shoot me in the face from so far away, and I wouldn't even know I got shot in the face until I went to work, and they're like, hey man, you got a big hole in your face, and I'm like, oh my god, I got a hole in my face, and then I'd be dead because I have a hole in my face, and you don't want that to happen to me, do you? Okay, so basically, that's what I've had to do. I would have just gone back, but again, Dark Souls autosaves every 35 milliseconds. You know, you kill a mook, it autosaves. You take a step, it autosaves. Your character takes a piss, it probably autosaves. So I can't go back. I didn't want to do this. I did not. I wanted one continuous playthrough. That's what I wanted to do. But again, this was kind of a test thing, and for the life of me, I have almost a brand new laptop. It has a very fast processor. It's got more memory than my last computer does by double the process. I think it's a 2.3 gigahertz processor. I don't know because I don't have the thing open in front of me, but I just can't believe it won't do that. And why will one crap-free Windows program work, but a $100 or whatever it was, because the software came with the HD PVR, but still, why won't this special fancy program open it? I don't know. I don't know if it's the program or it's my computer or it's both. I have had problems with this computer sometimes, and I won't be buying a laptop again. Well, maybe I don't know what I'm going to get, but anyway, maybe I'll go with an Apple computer. I hear they're nice. Since I have to start all over, and this is the part where I'm really worried about, I decided I didn't want to be a sorcerer anymore. I know in an earlier video where I wandered down in a blight town where I was kind of bored. I was not in a good mood that day. It had been a bad day. And I was just kind of mentioning, well, if this thing pisses me off, I'm just going to start all over and I'm not going to upload anything, and no one will ever know. But I didn't do that, obviously. But when I started over, I thought to myself, well, if I'm going to have to do that, then I might as well try a new class just for the hell of it, just to do something different. Because I'm going to have to play through the game all over again anyway. But don't worry, I'm not going to make you watch that. And it came down to cleric or knight. Or maybe the warrior. But I was kind of cleric knight. The knight, he's kind of a tank. That seems it would fit me. Because I'm getting sick and tired of not being able to fight like I want to fight. I wanted to try the sorcerer. I'm into the mage, but really my playstyle is much more of a melee brawler. I do enjoy a bit of the combat, I don't know if you call it close quarters combat, the melee. I actually have some fun with that. It's really kind of satisfying when I pull off a really nice parry. I have to admit that. I'll give that to the game. Every once in a while when I get a nice good smacking and ram that thing in, I'm happy. So I suggested that to my YouTube friend, becoming YouTube friend anyway, and I said, well, because he mentioned, well, if you're going to, you might as well just start all over, and I said, well, if I do that, I'm probably going to want to do a different class, and he said, well, okay, he didn't seem to care, so there was that, and I said, I mentioned cleric, and go for it, and it's as Veloid, in case you're wondering. You want to send him a message, so yell at him. He'll probably be like, oh, you bastard, why are you going to stick him on me? But I know this might upset some people, and it upsets me, because I don't want to be accused of like, oh, you're cheating, you're a pussy, you can't handle it. My problem with the sorcerer is, one, the melee is very weak, but the thing is, the magic is so boring to me. When I played Dragon Age Origins, which has got me into the mage class, it was because it was so badass. I never didn't have fun trying out a different build. Whether it was a giant fire tornado, or I was summoning plague storms, or, lightning and ice. And, I like the fact that Dark Souls does not go the classic, if you even want to call it that, cliched, boring elemental route, fire, wind, earth, water, all that jazz. I like that it's trying something a little different, but then it goes and it's blue bolts. That's all it is. I know there's more spells in the game, there has to be more spells in the game, than just the 4 that I have, the soul arrows, and I understand that they're fundamentally the same spell, just different levels, but they are so boring looking that every time I'm shooting them, it's like, oh my god, blue bolts. It's not interesting to me. It might be interesting to you, and I'm hoping that this doesn't upset anyone too badly. And if the general consensus is, I wanted to put it to a vote, but I don't know if YouTube has a poll method or if I even have enough watchers to make a poll, actually any kind of balance, or as opposed to just be like 2 people deciding. Because at the point now, at the same time, it was basically 5 people deciding, not counting me and my sweet Canadian. So there's that. And I just decided on Cleric because I looked at it and I was like, well, it looks more defensive. It's got high strength. There are miracles in the game, so it's still showing off some magic. And the other thing, as Valoid mentioned, he goes, well, you basically showed off the Sorcerer class quite a bit, and everybody wants you to have fun. And I just wasn't being able to do, even in the playthroughs that you've already watched, I'm just not able to do the things I want to do. I have to keep running away and shooting them with magic. And I'll admit, it's destroyed the bosses you've seen, minus Capra, who, got me pinned in there and I couldn't do anything. But it doesn't so much feel cheap to me. It's just kind of like I'm just running away shooting blue bolts at them, and I don't find that interesting at all. I don't know if running up and smacking them with a sword is going to be all that much more interesting, but we'll see. But that's what I'm going to do. I have already actually recorded footage of the beginning of the game till where I am now, or where you last saw me at that bonfire in the depths. But it's only one video, because I'm trying to do, it probably sucks, but what I've tried to do is like a montage, so it'll just kind of blitz through. And I've also got all the bosses up to this point, even my deaths. I got them spliced together into one video. I'm gonna put both those videos up at the same time, so that everyone can watch and see what I did, or watch me goof around. Because I actually did get a few points where I was trying to do things that were funny, with the gestures and things like that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm starting, not all over, but I'm basically starting from scratch as a Cleric. Went back and forth between him and the Knight. I was going to do Knight, but then I went, no, Cleric has miracles, and that's still a form of magic, so I'm still showing off kind of a dual character, not just focusing on one thing. And that's one other thing. I felt that as a sorcerer, I was just showing off one thing. Even though I had to keep putting points in to melee stats just to survive, I was just kind of showing off magic. And that's the other thing that really bothers me, because as a sorcerer in Dark Souls, the way the magic system is set up, you cannot rely on it. You have a limited amount of casts. And even after I got a good chunk of magic, 4 spells, 30 casts into this, 12 of that, 20 of this, 8 of that, that's a hefty amount, bonfire to bonfire. But at the same time, in the way I play as a sorcerer anyway, as a magic caster, is you have to stay away from them. You can't let them get close to you. You have to blast the crap out of them when they get to you. You're a glass cannon. And that's just not working, and it's just not proven to be all that interesting to me, even though I know people have liked it. More people have commented on these videos than any other, save maybe Def Jam, which everyone seems to like. So I do apologize. I'm not happy with this. I feel not only very unprofessional, which I know is a goof, but I try to do everything as best I can. And a little concerned, because I don't want people to hate it. I don't want people to look at me or at it and go, well, what the fuck, you suck. I've already been accused of cheating. The Dark Souls hardcore crowd are all over my ass. They send me PMs and bitch me out, and they can't spell. It's funny as hell. And I love that I've been accused of cheating, despite how much I've fucked up. I died to Capra like 4 times. Yeah, I cheated. Yeah, I totally, somebody said, you knew to run up the stairs. No, it's a small-ass area, and there are fucking stairs there, so I'm like, if I can just get up them damn stairs, maybe I won't get raped instantly. It doesn't take a genius. That's the thing that kills me with some gamers today, and I'm going off on a little tangent, but I gotta say this. It's like, if you show any type of mental competency and actually look at a game and figure something out, which is what people, I grew up with a Nintendo. We had to do that shit. We didn't even have internet. No, God, I'm old. But, I didn't need to be told everything every single time, every game I ever bought. Some people have explained certain things that I have asked about in in previous videos, the white Rinkas and so on and so forth. I appreciate that, although I have asked them and I ask everyone, don't tell me what's going to happen beforehand, because I read all my comments. Don't go, hey Max, you're going into an area and there's a blah-de-blah that's going to do whatever. Don't do that. I don't want to know. You know, it's one thing if you see a video and I passed it and you go, well, hey, over in that area there was a thing. Well, I have no problem with that because I've already been there. But so if I go back, it's not like anything spoiled me. I was already there. But as it stands, I want to do that. You know, I'm still committed to doing this on my own, which I've been doing, despite what, you know, some people have said. But I guess they couldn't figure it out, so how could anyone else? So that's where things stand. If the general consensus is that people don't like that I'm doing a cleric run now, and they wanted me to go back to sorcerer, I guess I would, you know, get all the way back to that point. But I've played the cleric. I'm having a little bit more fun, just because I'm able to mix it up a lot more, and that's just fun to me. You know, instead of having to just sit there and shoot them in the face with a generic blue bolt, you know, I'm beating their face in with a mace, or I found an interesting sword, and wish I'd have done that to begin with, but I didn't. I didn't know. I was just, you know, the only class I tried out up to that point was Pyromancer, and I didn't want to do one of those because everybody does. So that's where we stand now. I have 2 montage videos that I've tried to make funny and add a little flavor to. It's the first time I've ever done anything like that. That will be coming right after this. And I hope you all enjoy, and you know, if you have any comments, leave them down below. I always try to read them. I do try to comment back. I just get busy. I don't ignore them. I'm not like somebody who gets so many comments that they can't keep up. I just have a tendency to either not know what to say, or I don't have anything to say, or because my computer, as I have it hooked up to my television, which I do, is so much farther away. It's good like 10 feet away from me. I can't like reach over and type and reach over and type. I'm usually just watching television or whatever, and I try to do them all on the same day, answering all my emails and everything right on the same day when I'm actually doing some writing. But that's where things stand. That's what I'm going to do. Questions, comments, and concerns, leave them down below. And once again, thank you very much for watching. Especially thank you for all the subscribers, and even more thank you for all the people who have commented and been, you know, civil with me. I greatly appreciate that. Well, that's all for me from now, and stay tuned.